Hello to all Star Wars fans. The Mandalorian finale revealed Moff Gideon's secret project to grow his own clones, which never came out at an end. First the clones died, then Gideon himself was absorbed by the explosion. But you know, it's possible that he survived and will return in Season 4? First, let's think about it. Why did Gideon place tanks with his clones on Mandalore in some caves and did not even try to strengthen their protection in any way? Could it be that these clones are nothing more than a trial version, whose death will not change anything for the Empire? Well, really, they went down too easily. Perhaps the rest of the clones are hidden elsewhere, and this hidden batch is more dangerous than the one on Mandalore. Besides, remember the second season, one of the secret cloning laboratories was located on the planet Navarro. And do not forget Mountain Tantis from the Bad Batch. How many more such laboratories are scattered throughout the galaxy? The destruction of just one cluster of tanks does not yet mean the complete collapse of Imperial cloning, and unfortunately, it will not be possible to turn a blind eye to the cloning of the Emperor. I bet that in the 4th season we can expect an interesting plot twist with Gideon's clones, and you know, there is even a theory that the Mandalorians defeated the clone and not Gideon himself. But I don't really believe it, because the clones differ significantly from their donor. It is noticeable that they are at least 30 years younger than him, while Gideon is an old man with obvious grey hair. Now, let's look at exactly how Moff died. No one has ever died like this in the Star Wars universe. Well, anybody can survive in Star Wars, from falling into the reactor of the Death Star, and from direct cutting in half with a subsequent fall into the abyss, and from burning on Mustafar, and so on. You can list it endlessly. It's impossible to die normally in Star Wars. In order for the character to finish his journey in our beloved universe, he or she must be pierced with a lightsaber, fired with blasters, flooded with force lightning, set on fire, crushed with a Star Destroyer, and after all this, a medical droid must still come up and officially declare death. No other way. But it's a lyric. I think everyone understood everything. Well, there is nobody, there is no case, and surely Gideon could have flown out of that explosion and disappeared far over the horizon, realizing that he had no chance of winning. Moreover, now the New Republic and the Mandalorians will once again think that he finally died along with his clones and will not look for him. In the same Shadow Council, Pelion reminded the other officers about the conspiracy, about the need to remain in the shadows so that the stupid Republic would believe in the complete defeat of the Empire. Who knows, maybe Gideon decided to lay low. As for all these cloning experiments, I immediately remember the game, The Force Unleashed 2, and can see a parallel with The Mandalorian. Reviving the plot, Vader was also creating Force-sensitive Starkiller clones on Kamino, and we were never told who exactly we were playing as. The surviving Starkiller always clone. Everyone is inclined to the second option, but no one has officially confirmed this. Now let's take a look at Moff Gideon again. If he really died in the explosion, could it be that one of his clones still survived and escaped from Mandalore? Or this same clone was born in another secret laboratory? Thus, it will turn out that like Starkiller, Gideon will return in the 4th season, and we will have to guess for several episodes whether this is a clone or not a clone, whether he survived or burned alive. It is unclear. But if there is a clone, then the creators of the series will have to spend a lot on rejuvenating Giancarlo Esposito, the actor who played Gideon, because the clones were clearly younger than their donor, as I said earlier. In this case, we will get a new Gideon, young and agile and even sensitive to the Force, which indicates that we cannot put him to rest without the help of a Jedi. And in conclusion, I would like to ask a question. Is it necessary for Gideon to return? What else can surprise the audience with such a villain? Initially, I generally thought that Gideon would not stay in the series for a long time, and the 3rd season, as it would seem, should put an end to his story. However, even more questions appeared. Either the creators of the series will continue all this mess with Gideon in the 4th season, or they will finally finish his story and show something new. But what does the actor himself, Giancarlo Esposito, say? He quite often comments on what is happening in the series. 3 years ago, the actor said a curious thing. I quote, "I think that The Mandalorian is already laying the foundations for the depth and inspiration that will come and unfold in the 3rd and 4th seasons of the series. There is where you really start getting answers to your questions. Gideon has his own plans for the future. No one even suspects what it is. I think he wants to save the galaxy. However, everyone believes that he just wants power and control. He is a real genius." Earlier, Lucasfilm planned to finish the series on the 4th season. The script was written simultaneously with the third season, and all the preparations for filming were completed before the release of the third season. Therefore, the fourth season will be released as it was planned for a long time, the final one. But in the ending, we will be left with a hint of continuation because Lucasfilm eventually decided to continue it. If Giancarlo Esposito mentioned the fourth season, does this mean that Gideon will appear in the sequel? And if he is a real genius, as the actor put it may turn out that the Imperial planned everything in advance and now we see the first results of his cunning plan. Probably, everything is going as it should. And what do you think? Did Gideon survive or did his clone survive? Write your opinion in the comments. Let's discuss it together. We'll be grateful for your support. Thank you all very much for watching. See you soon.